Hello, I'm Dan Quigley, N7HQ from FlexRadio Systems. I hope you are enjoying the QSO Today Virtual Ham Expo. Welcome and thank you for viewing this presentation. I'm going to be detailing the features of the PowerGenius XL amplifier, the legal limit SO2R amplifier with a contest pedigree. PowerGenius XL is self-contained. You can run the amplifier on 120 or 240 volts AC using its built-in power supply. A super easy two-cable setup seamlessly integrates with any shipping FlexRadio product. Just plug in a LAN cable and one or two coax lines and your PGXL is ready to go, with local and remote operations over a SmartLink connection. If you operate SO2R, you'll love that you can replace two amplifiers with a single PowerGenius XL. The PowerGenius is built to broadcast industry standards using a dedicated CPU and sensor array for LDMOS protection, an integral diplex filter unit that basically directs the unavoidably generated harmonic energy into a 400-watt internal dummy load. The firmware employs MEffA, a maximum efficiency algorithm which constantly monitors output and adjusts bias for maximum efficiency. Discrete -60 dBc taps on the rear panel, one for each port, prepare the amplifier for adaptive predistortion. Finally, a Windows desktop application and a large number of control points allows the PGXL to work with any manufacturer's exciter. Let's take a peek under the hood. The PowerGenius XL was designed by a contester for contesting, and there's plenty of evidence of this heritage as we go through the presentation. For example, each MRF 1K50H LDMOS device is rated at 1550 watts and can tolerate 65:1 SWR. Doing the math, that is 3100 watts of silicon, and a reason the amplifier is conservatively rated. You can drive the PGXL to legal output with around 50 watts drive on any amateur band from 160 to 6 meters. A versatile complement of control inputs allows you to integrate any exciter, even those that have no digital band or frequency output. And you can use the 4.5-inch color touchscreen or our seamless integration with Smart SDR or a Windows application to monitor and adjust the functional aspects of the amplifier. And there is full support for SmartLink, FlexRadio's built-in remote access solution too. Soon, you can choose between which antenna switching option that fits your operating style, SO2R or a 1x3 matrix option. The specifications are impressive. Nominal impedance of 50 ohms, of course. Nominal operating power up to 2000 watts at full ICAS duty cycles. You can switch between Class AB or Class AAB operation, and if using Class AB, you can expect up to 75% efficiency when you're using MEffA. To protect the LDMOS, there's super fast, intelligent SWR protection. And that intelligence extends into some profile-based thermal management that's built into the firmware. The SO2R version lines up perfectly with the inputs and outputs on a FlexRadio exciter, 2 in and 2 out, each input paired with one output. And you have a phenomenal 70 dB of nominal port isolation available on that SO2R module. The switching, of course, is non-matrix in SO2R, and when paired with a FlexRadio exciter, the frequency or band selection inside the amplifier is automatic. The 1x3 matrix version is a true matrix, and you have manual automatic frequency and band selection there too. The mechanical electrical specs, the power supply works between 90 and 250 volts AC, 50 or 60 hertz, with reduced power if you're operating at under 190 volts. The dimensions will fit neatly on a desk and neatly inside of a rack. The weight is 37.4 pounds, and we can operate between -25 C and 40 C. Now here's the PowerGenius XL front panel, and you'll note that everything you need is in one place. There's the handy standby operate button and the 4.5-inch touchscreen. And then finally is the lovely lift and carry handle. Now, the metering options available on the PGXL, RF power, SWR, and current and voltage into the output stage. And we monitor the temperature in 2 places in the amplifier and display it. One at the PA and the other at the harmonic load. AC voltage is also available. And here's the rear panel. First up is the 60 dB taps that are built in for monitoring or adaptive predistortion. There's a PTT input and output. Interesting thing about the PTT in and outs is that it gives you the ability to deliver a precise interlock mechanism for non-flex exciters. And then here's the evidence of the multitude of interface options that you have available. CIV, CAT over RS-232, BCD, pin to band, all opto-isolated, of course. The evidence that you can interface this amplifier with any manufacturer's exciter. Like all FlexRadio products, SO2R is not an afterthought. It is built in and out of the box ready for you. So here's more of that heritage shining through. Steve Floyd, W4YHD from the HARP Research Station, has a PGXL, and like all good chief engineers, he took his apart. And then he put it back together again. But we asked him what he thought about it, and this is what he said. The PowerGenius XL amplifier is a state-of-the-art dual LDMOS solid-state design that's built to the highest quality, broadcast industry standard. The PGXL build quality is well above any amateur amplifier I've seen before, and it represents the very best performance and value available today. I know a high quality and rugged legal limit amplifier when I experience one, and I can confidently say that the PGXL is my best recommendation. I'm not going to argue with the guy that designed and built the most powerful transmitter on the planet. Now I'd like to compare the traditional amplifier with the PowerGenius XL. Most solid-state amateur band RF power amplifiers typically use low-pass filters to suppress harmonic frequency output created during amplification. Now this is to meet jurisdictional requirements that limit emissions that cause interference to other frequency bands. Typical amplifier designs also monitor the output of an amplifier through a directional coupler with a microcontroller of some kind that monitors the coupler. The microcontroller is usually tasked with a whole bunch of jobs like switching low-pass filter banks, operating a network stack, interpreting a CAT command, calculating SWR and displaying it, etc. So that means that these CPUs can become fairly heavily tasked. There are also several problems with the traditional solid-state amplifier design as a whole. For example, if an internal problem develops, there is usually no way for the microcontroller to know about it fast enough so that it can protect the amplifier from damage. Transistor bias is usually a set and forget affair where trade-offs are made in efficiency and linearity. And then other than setting the basic bias class, there really is no dynamic bias management during operation. Those compromises lead to additional thermal stress, wasted energy, and that it doesn't translate power directly to the desired output. Another is that the harmonic energy trapped by the low filters really has nowhere to go and ends up back at the amplifier transistors, where it causes all kinds of mischief, like damaging voltage spikes, additional nonlinearities, and then adding more to the thermal management burden. The PGXL corrects for these design issues by engineering solutions for each problem. So let's go a little deeper. The PGXL dedicates a fast PIC16F, which is an enhanced microchip MCU, to independently monitor the PA for problems and make protective bias and some other protective adjustments. One of those is APC, or Automatic Power Control. APC is a system that reduces output power when some operational limit is exceeded, preventing damage to the amplifier. When peak output power exceeds a preset limit, APC will reduce the output power and then set an APC alarm shown on the amplifier's front panel or the Windows application. APC limits output power to 2000 watts, and if running on 120 volts AC, APC will begin to react at 650 watts. This RF Protect processor uses a dedicated directional coupler installed prior to the filter unit. So that gives it the ability to monitor for problems there too. In short, this dedicated CPU is fast, and it helps protect the main transistors against failures both internally and external to the PGXL. Now, an amplifier architecture that uses a harmonic load is common in the broadcast industry, but it is unique in the ham radio world. It basically employs diplexed, a low pass and separate high pass sets of filters, one set for each band, that route generated harmonics to an internal 400 watt dummy load called the harmonic load. The harmonic energy is then eliminated as heat rather than reflecting it back into the amplifier transistor outputs, where it causes all kinds of problems. This design improves linearity and allows the amplifier to the same fundamental power output with less LDMOS device peak drain voltage. The harmonic load in the PowerGenius XL is mounted on a dedicated heatsink with independent thermal management using discrete temperature sensor and fan controllers. The firmware inside the PGXL implements a maximum efficiency algorithm, or MEffA. Now patented, MEffA controls the amplifier's operational parameters to maximize linearity of the amplified signal, minimize intermod distortion products, and maximize power supply efficiency. It does this by adjusting drive voltage and bias settings based on the type of input signal. When a pure carrier signal such as CW is present, the amplifier operates in a class AB and can achieve efficiencies approaching 75%. When a single sideband signal is input, the amplifier operates in class AAB between class A, which is the most linear but least efficient, and class AB, which is more efficient but less linear. The desktop application is designed for easy, transparent remote operation, whether you're in the next room or the next state. It mirrors the front panel display. It provides over-the-LAN access to all functions. You can click to change operate standby, the bias class, which is especially useful for non-flex exciters, thermal profiles that set not only fan speed, but some additional operational characteristics, and of course MEffA. Using the PGXL desktop application, you can configure the amplifier, you can perform firmware upgrades. The precision metering on the PGXL is available to the desktop application either in real time or it's logged where you can view it in a graph over time. With FlexRadio products, integration is super easy. It fully supports SO2R, and it gives you one radio, one amplifier operation. It tracks the active TX slice and antenna port tracking, and that slice-based tracking extends to low-pass filter and bias class selection. This allows you to switch from 40 meter CW to 20 meter single sideband with a single click of the mouse. We've implemented PTT over the LAN, so no additional PTT line is required, and integrated PGXL meters and control into Smart SDR. This means that you can use the PGXL over multiplex and SmartLink. Integration with the new tuner Genius XL is plug and play. And of course, developers have access to the PGXL through the Flex API. I think Mac McCormick, W4AX, our intrepid host of this presentation, said it best. The PowerGenius XL seamlessly transforms your Flex 6000 series radio into a legal limit beast. With FlexRadio's smart integration, you are on the air in less than a minute. Simply connect power, the Ethernet pipe, and coax, then pair the exciter with the amplifier, and you're done. You're ready to go on the air. There is no additional integration required for Smart SDR, SmartLink, or the new Tuner Genius XL. We've added intelligence to the PGXL to integrate as easily as possible with other exciters, such as CAT over RS-232 for ICOM CIV. BCD and pin-to-band inputs for band switching are available. For exciters that don't have any of those outputs, we've added frequency sensing and mode sensing into the firmware so that you don't need them. We've improved upon wired PTT, allowing you to connect PTT output on a PGXL to an exciter's input, and that will automatically set proper TX delay for devices that don't have that capability built into them. You just use the PGXL PTT in to key TX. Now, any good ham radio operator knows the very first thing you do when you buy a new piece of equipment is that you accessorize. And we're announcing today at the show that the new rack mounting accessory kit is available for the PowerGenius XL. And this accessory is just as much of a beast as the PGXL itself. It fits into a standard 4U 19-inch rack space. It weighs 7 pounds, 3.2 kilograms, and is made out of 2mm aluminum stock with a conductive chromatization coating. The rack mounting accessory kit is available now in inventory and now shipping. FlexRadio is now accepting orders and shipping direct to U.S. customers. Outside the U.S., please contact your local distributor for availability and pricing. You can visit www.flexradio.com/about-distributors for the listing of your local distributor. In the U.S., the retail price of the PGXL is $69.99, and the rack mounting accessory kit is $249. Of course, the PGXL is covered by the standard 2-year FlexRadio product warranty. Well, that's all I have today for the formal portion of the presentation. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the PowerGenius XL and all of the outstanding features that make it the best-in-class legal limit and SO2 amplifier for the amateur radio operator. We'll take some questions live from the folks attending the expo, and if you're viewing this presentation later, please reach out to us at FlexRadio in Austin, Texas, or your local FlexRadio distributor with your questions. 73 for now.